Did you know that Taylor Swift has a doppelganger who works as a nurse in a hospital? Or that a Starbucks employee was mistaken for Harry Styles' long-lost twin? Today, we bring you 20 incredible cases of celebrities who have found someone who looks strikingly similar to them. A true doppelganger. Let's watch it. It's fascinating. Taylor Swift's nurse doppelganger. Imagine this. You have a car accident and wake up in the hospital. You ask for help from one of the nurses, and to your complete surprise, the person who comes to your aid is none other than the famous singer Taylor Swift. It sounds like a plot from a bad movie, but several people have experienced just this, or at least something similar. Ashley Leachin, a professional nurse from Nashville, Tennessee, bears an uncanny resemblance to the pop star. So much so that while working as a nurse, people constantly thought they were seeing Taylor Swift. Ashley was a fan of the pop star from a young age, but the resemblance wasn't so noticeable back then. As she grew older, the similarity became more apparent. Initially, only her family and friends noticed the resemblance and joked about it. But it soon reached a point where it was hard for her to work without people thinking she was the star. The only difference between them is that Swift has blue eyes, while Ashley's are brown. Aware of the resemblance, Ashley started dressing and doing her makeup like the star, even creating content mimicking the singer, which Swift herself has seen. However, she has turned down all offers to work as an impersonator. She enjoys using her resemblance for fun online, but has no interest in becoming a professional lookalike. She even avoids wearing blue contact lenses to prevent taking it too far. So, if you wake up in a Nashville hospital and see a face like that, don't worry, it's just Ashley. Harry Styles' Starbucks doppelganger. So let's say you left the hospital where you thought you'd seen Taylor Swift and decided to grab a coffee. If that's the case, you might run into another celebrity lookalike, as happened in a Starbucks in Illinois. At the drive-thru of this coffee shop, a group of young people was startled to see that the person serving them was a near-exact double of Harry Styles. They even thought the singer might be pulling a prank for a TV show and filmed a video that quickly went viral on TikTok. But no, it wasn't the singer. It was a guy named Sean Budzinski, who honestly looks identical to the As It Was performer. Initially, Sean wasn't too thrilled, as he was trying to do his job, but in hindsight, he found it hilarious, especially because he's not a fan of Harry Styles' music. So, apparently, there's a Harry Styles and a Harry Starbucks. Brad Susa and Justin Bieber. If there's one thing YouTube celebrities love, it's pranks. And when one of them looks quite a bit like a real-life famous person, you can bet there will be pranks involved, as happened with Brad Susa and Justin Bieber. In this case, Susa teamed up with the Yes Theory channel and used his impressive resemblance to the star to pull a prank on both Justin and the paparazzi. The plan was simple but clever. They dressed Susa up to look like the yummy singer and had him perform everyday activities like buying and eating a burrito on the street or helping an elderly woman cross the road. Within 2 hours, tabloid media were spreading gossip about Justin and his eating habits. And of course, both Susa and the Yes Theory guys were laughing their heads off. Who says you can't use your celebrity lookalike status to have a good laugh with your friends? Russian Leonardo DiCaprio. Looking like a celebrity can really change your life. In fact, if you're lucky, it can impact your career and even your physical health. Don't believe me? Just ask Roman Burtsev from Russia, who bears a respectable resemblance to superstar Leonardo DiCaprio. They may not be what you'd call identical, but their resemblance was enough for a photo Burtsev posted on a dating site to gain fame online. Of course, people on the internet can be very cruel, and Roman was nicknamed Fat Leonardo DiCaprio. But Burtsev didn't take it as an insult, especially since shortly after, a TV network in Moscow hired him to do a show about his life and his search for love. This certainly changed his life. Over time, he managed to lose significant weight and gain some recognition in his community. As they say, you've got to make the most of your 15 minutes of fame, even if it's based on someone else's. Billie Eilish and Claudia Salowski. Sometimes a person's resemblance to a celebrity can make them famous. But other times, the media might find a similarity that perhaps wasn't obvious at first, but becomes strangely real as they keep pointing it out. That's what happened with Billie and her sister-in-law. Here's the story. Billie's brother, Phineas, started dating a woman named Claudia Salowski. who is a prominent beauty and makeup YouTuber. In fact, her work was recognized long before Billie even released her first song. Since these two started dating, many tabloids have pointed out the resemblance between Claudia and Billie. While there is some resemblance, it's not as dramatic as the media claims. In fact, some media outlets have even gone as far as photoshopping images to exaggerate the resemblance when it really isn't there. What can I say? The world of celebrity can be pretty harsh sometimes. But judge for yourself and let us know in the comments. Do you think they really look enough alike to spark such controversy? Teni and The Rock. In the acting world, looking like a celebrity can lead to a solid working relationship and even a significant friendship, as happened with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his cousin Teni. Teni's life story closely mirrors that of the famous actor. Like Johnson, he was also a high-performance athlete. When Johnson began his career as an action movie star, Reed offered to be his stunt double, which was very convenient for both The Rock and the studios due to their notable resemblance. According to Dwayne himself, this arrangement allowed him to focus on acting while still performing the action roles he loves. Over time, they've developed a strong family bond and a significant professional symbiosis. While Dwayne has become a famous actor, Teni has won some of the most prestigious awards in the stunt world, proving that, at least sometimes, working with family pays off. Kylie Jenner and Kristen. Sometimes, when everyone says you look like someone, the best thing you can do is play along and embrace the character. This worked out brilliantly for YouTuber Kristen. Here's the story. Kristen, a YouTuber with a popular blog about various aspects of her life, was persistently told by her followers that she resembled Kylie Jenner, to the point where it became a sort of meme on her channel. Instead of getting annoyed, she saw an opportunity and decided to play along by creating a video using her makeup and fashion skills to perfectly replicate some photos from Jenner's Instagram. The results are quite impressive. While copying Jenner's poses, clothes, and locations perfectly, you can still notice subtle differences between them. Has lighter eyes and a rounder face. I have to tip my hat to Kristen. It was very clever. In one video, she managed to capitalize on the meme created by her followers while highlighting the differences between her and Jenner. Reese Witherspoon and Ava Philippe. It's understandable for children to resemble their parents, but sometimes it's as if the child is a carbon copy of one of them, even among celebrities. Don't believe me? Take the case of Reese Witherspoon and her daughter, Ava Philippe. When Ava was a child, she resembled her mother like any other child might. However, now that she's 21, the resemblance is simply astonishing. Perhaps it's because Reese looks much younger than her age, or maybe it's just genetic luck. But if you didn't know they were mother and daughter, you might easily mistake them for sisters or even twins, as they are of similar height. Do you know anyone who is a carbon copy of their parents? Share the story in the comments. Ibi Es. This year, the famous content creator won an Esland Award, which is sort of the equivalent of an Oscar for Spanish-speaking content creators. However, he couldn't attend the ceremony because he had to cover a major League of Legends event. So, he came up with a clever trick and enlisted a fan named Queek, who happens to look almost exactly like him. Ibi even taught Queek his mannerisms and ways of speaking so that he could represent him at the award ceremony without anyone realizing. Indeed, very few people even noticed that it wasn't the real Ibi, and only a handful suspected something. Moments like these are why I love the internet. Selena Gomez and Sofia Solaris. Imagine you're scrolling through Instagram and suddenly find a profile of someone who looks virtually identical to you. At first, you're quite impressed but brush it off, as two unrelated people can resemble each other due to factors like ancestry or nationality. However, as you look more into this intriguing twin-like profile, you realize that others have also noticed the similarity and even started creating games challenging people to differentiate between your photos and this profile's photos. Well, this movie-like scenario actually happened in real life with Selena Gomez and Sofia Solaris. Here's the story. Recently, a girl from Mexico named Sofia Solaris gained fame on social media for looking almost identical to Selena Gomez. so much so that many gossip magazines wondered if the famous actress might have been part of a group of twins separated at birth. And while these magazines are known for spreading rumors, seeing them together, one can't help but wonder, as their resemblance goes beyond just similarity. Of course, you know how people on the internet are. It didn't take long for some accounts to start running contests to try to differentiate between the two, which can be more challenging than it seems. Let's give it a try ourselves. What do you think? Is this Selena Gomez or Sofia Solaris? It's Sofia. And who's this young lady here? That's Selena. See? It can be hard to tell them apart. So, it's understandable that people might think they're twins separated at birth, but as far as we know, it's just an incredible coincidence. The 4 Ed Sheerans. Having someone who looks a lot like you is one thing, but what if there were 4 doubles of you? Believe it or not, this happened to famous singer Ed Sheeran, who, as part of a joke during an interview, had the unusual experience of meeting 4 people who actually make a living by dressing and looking like him. Just look at the sheer look of confusion on Ed's face when he sees these 4 clones at the same time. Interestingly, Ed already knew one of them, as this person had been at a popular party where everyone mistook him for the singer, an event that Sheeran had heard about at some point. According to the singer, seeing these people felt as unsettling as watching an episode of Black Mirror. But by the end of the day, he found it amusing and congratulated the clones for bringing joy to people, even if it was through imitation. Fake Drake. When you have a YouTube channel dedicated to large-scale pranks and people's reactions, and you also have a close friend who somewhat resembles a celebrity, you have a golden opportunity, just like YouTuber Stanley Chen did. In several of Stanley's videos, he featured a close friend named Dom. Of course, the channel's followers quickly pointed out Dom's undeniable resemblance to rapper Drake. So, Stanley came up with a plan. He would use Dom's initial resemblance and further disguise him to create a commotion on the streets and make people believe that the real Drake was with him. Dom went all out for the illusion, shaving his head completely and wearing a wig to mimic the rapper's hairstyle. Additionally, he received a full makeup job from a special effects expert and wore clothes identical to those Drake wears daily, thanks to someone who worked with the rapper and knew his usual wardrobe. They even hired a couple of strong men to act as his bodyguards. The result was nothing short of spectacular. It took some time, but just by strolling through Sydney's tourist areas, they managed to convince entire crowds that fake Drake was the real deal. People even chased him through the streets and took photos with him. It's incredible and a bit scary how easily you can play with people's minds, don't you think? Ariana Grande and Gabby Martino. Celebrities usually handle the presence of impersonators fairly well. After all, there's a saying that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. However, it doesn't always end as smoothly as one might hope, and this case is proof of that. The Twitter feud between YouTuber Gabby Martino and Ariana Grande. For a long time, people have noted how much the two girls resemble each other. Throughout Gabby's career, her resemblance to Ariana has been questioned several times until she finally made a video attempting to copy Ariana's outfits and even her laugh. Well, let's just say things didn't go as well as she had hoped. Soon, Ariana's fans attacked the YouTuber, claiming that her imitation was done in bad faith and that Gabby had been imitating the singer in basically every aspect of her life for a long time. Usually, celebrities don't get involved in such dramas, but Ariana surprised everyone with a couple of tweets expressing disdain for the YouTuber's imitations. Tell us in the comments, what do you think? Is this a pointless drama, or is there some basis for Ariana's fans' outrage? Adam Sandler and Max Kessler. This is one of those coincidences so big that you can't help but wonder if there was something intentional behind it all. Max Kessler is a regular 23-year-old guy from New York, and all his friends and family have said he looks a lot like comedian Adam Sandler. Just look at him. The only difference is that Max is noticeably younger than Sandler, but if you compare him to a young version of the actor, they are practically identical. See for yourself. Now, Kessler was aware of his resemblance to the actor but never wanted to make a big deal out of it until the movie The Do-Over came out. The character Sandler played was named none other than Max Kessler. Exactly the same name and surname as the double. Seeing such a coincidence, the guy shared it online, and one thing led to another until he was invited to attend the premiere to meet the famous actor he resembles so much. Was this all a setup for Sandler to meet his look-alike? Or is it just a crazy coincidence? Tell us in the comments what you think. Adele. Usually it's the lookalikes who play pranks on the celebrity they resemble. But in this case, it was the celebrity who took the initiative. The famous singer Adele learned that there would be a competition for her impersonators, so she decided to prank them. Using makeup and a couple of prosthetics on her nose and chin, she disguised herself as a contestant, even creating a false name and backstory for the organizers and pretending to have stage fright. But of course, when she started singing, all the impersonators were left in shock, because Adele's unmatched voice and ability to hit high notes couldn't be disguised in any way. Just look at their faces. They almost fell backward. It's good to know that some celebrities have a sense of humor. It's only fair that they have fun with the whole impersonator thing too, don't you think? Katy Perry and Hannah Everhart. It's not uncommon for celebrities to judge musical competition shows like American Idol, but what's rare is encountering an exact double among the contestants. That's precisely what happened to Katy Perry when she came face-to-face with Hannah Everhart, a girl who bore an uncanny resemblance to her. They had the same skin tone, eye color, and even similar height. The main difference was Hannah's strong southern accent. Katy even joked about whether she was looking at a country version of herself. Despite their similarities, Hannah's musical style leans more towards country than pop. You can check out her talent here. Although she was a bit nervous and had some tuning issues at the time, her potential is clear. Who knows, she might even outshine Katy Perry in the future. Conan OBrien. Conan OBrien, one of the most well-known talk show hosts, had a surreal experience when he interviewed his exact double. In 2017, Conan discovered a national impersonator contest where there was an exact look-alike of him, and he invited him on his show for an interview. The doppelganger, Dana Emberland from North Carolina, worked for a company selling conveyor belts and had never seen Conan's show before the interview. It must have been quite an experience to interview someone who looks so much like you. Perhaps we should call him Conan OBrien. Baseball players with the same name. Imagine being a professional baseball player and finding another player with the same name and surname on the opposing team. This happened to Brady Fiegel, who encountered another player named Brady Fiegel during a minor league game. Not only did they share the same name, but they were also identical in appearance. Same face, beard, and height. The coincidence was so striking that they decided to take a DNA test to see if they were separated at birth. The results showed that while they had similar ancestry from Northern Europe, they were not related. It's more like a glitch in the Matrix than anything else. Ellen DeGeneres and her virtual twin. It's fascinating to think that there might be someone out there who looks almost exactly like you. The rise of social media has made it easier to find these lookalikes through a trend called twinning, where you post your photo online to see if others can find someone who resembles you. Ellen DeGeneres tried this and found a person almost identical to herself. The results are quite remarkable. Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, host of the popular game show Family Feud, once had to pause the show because a man in the audience looked exactly like him. Same mustache, bald head, and all. The doppelganger, named Michael, was just a regular spectator. Harvey later invited him back, and Michael came dressed in a suit identical to Harvey's, completing the amazing illusion. It's a reminder to keep your eyes open. You might just come across your own lookalike. Now tell me, which of these doppelgangers do you think resembles their celebrity counterpart the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. Here are two options that you'll surely love.